Hello, welcome to the online classes by Saket Girls PG College. Today I will be discussing the evolving models of plasma membrane. What is the plasma membrane? We know plasma membrane is the external boundary of the cell in case of animal cells, while in case of plant cells we have cell wall. So plasma membrane is present beneath the cell wall, and cell wall has many important functions such as it is selective permeable membrane. So every molecule does not able to pass, every molecule cannot pass through the plasma membrane. Only certain types of molecules are allowed to pass through, and it communicates with external stimuli, that is signaling molecules. It can it can interact with external stimuli and pass through the message to the intracellular cascades for further reactions. So we need a model for explaining all these functions of a plasma membrane, so that model can be stable barrier as well as it can explain the dynamic interactive interface of the plasma membrane. So there are many models of plasma membrane which can be broadly classified into early lipid based concept, where Overton's lipid hypothesis came into 1895. He took cells and studied the permeability of the cells with respect to the hydrophobic as well as hydrophilic molecules, or polar or non-polar substances. And non-polar substances could easily enter into the cell compared to the polar one. Therefore, he concluded that the structure of the plasma membrane must be lipid in nature. Therefore, he proposed this model. And the merit of this model was that he could for the first time establish that plasma membrane has lipid nature, and most likely it is a monolayer coat. But the demerit of this model was that this model did not account for proteins, and it could not also explain that how water or polar substances could enter into the cell. Then Langmuir monolayer model was came into 1900. It this model supported the Overton's model. He did experiment with amphipathic molecules. Amphipathic molecules are nothing but these molecules have hydrophilic and hydrophobic part in themselves. So amphipathic molecules are phospholipids. So he took phospholipid and formed a monolayer of this molecule on the aqueous surface, and found that the hydrophilic part of the lipid is exposed to the water, that is the aqueous environment, and the hydrophilic tail part of the lipid is exposed to the air upward. And thus he proposed that plasma membrane must be the monolayer, and he correctly showed how lipids are arranged at an aqueous boundary. The demerit of this model was that he could not account for the protein, and this model was a pure lipid film, not the cell membrane itself. Then coming further, Garter and Grendels came and gave the bilayer model. This was the first great feat in the discovery of the plasma membrane structure. And what he did, they extracted the lipid molecules from the erythrocytes, the RBC, and the surface area of the RBC was known. And after extracting the lipid molecules from the RBC, he formed a monolayer using the Langmuir's experiment as he did earlier, and he found that lipid monolayer was consistently twice the total surface area of the original cell. So they observed that the lipid monolayer was consistently twice, means they did many experiments and found that the monolayer was the surface area of the monolayer was almost 2 times of the surface area of the RBC, erythrocytes. Therefore, they concluded that the arrangement of lipid in the plasma membrane must be bilayer. And in the bilayer, polar heads will face the water and non-polar tails, the tails face inward, as shown in here. The merit of this model was they correctly proposed the fundamental phospholipid bilayer, which is valid till today. And the demerit was they could not account for the proteins in their model. The second major model were the sandwich model. In that first model was proposed by the Davison and Danieli in 1935. They proposed that a pure lipid bilayer could not explain the low surface tension of the real cell. Also, how did polar substance like ions get through plasma membrane? Therefore, they proposed that the surface tension was higher in the lipid bilayer because they are very compact in nature, but proteins are not that compact. So, they proposed that the protein layer, the phospholipid bilayer is sandwiched between the protein layer, one protein layer from the on the external leaflet and another protein layer on the internal leaflet of the phospholipid bilayer. The merit of this model was they could explain the low surface tension of the plasma membrane, but this model was also rigid, which could not explain the various dynamic function of the plasma membrane, and it is thermodynamically unstable protein sheets because proteins are amphipathic molecule. They have hydrophilic as well as hydrophobic region in themselves. So, if proteins are arranged in a layer to the on the outer surface of the phospholipid bilayer, so there must be many regions, many part of the protein which can be hydrophobic in nature and they can be exposed to the aqueous environment, and that is thermodynamically unstable model. And they could not explain the channels or proteins variability in the plasma membrane. Further, Robertson proposed unit membrane model in 1959. He studied various plasma membrane from various organelles as well as various cells, and he proposed that using the transmission electron microscopy, and he observed structure like this. This is the TEM figure diagram obtained from the TEM. So this is the cell membrane, this is the another cell membrane, this is the intracellular space between both cell. So this external, these two black lines represent to the layer of protein and the hydrophilic head of the lipid, and the light color band in between these two dark bands refers to the hydrophobic tail of the lipids. The merit of this model was that they provided the visual evidence how the plasma membrane is seen under the TEM micrograph, and supported the earlier sandwich model. The demerit of this model is that they consider the plasma membrane to be rigid and stable structure, unstable, and incorrectly stated all membranes were identical. So, as we see that the sandwich models were thermodynamically unstable because the proteins were on the external surface and which can be exposed to their hydrophobic regions can be exposed to the external aqueous medium, which is not thermodynamically stable, and how plasma membrane is transporting so many molecules into the cell, that was also not explained. And cell fusion experiments could not support the sandwich model as well, because cell fusion experiment clearly demonstrated that the proteins of the membrane can laterally move into the leaflet of the phospholipid bilayer. Thus, finally, in 1972, Singer and Nicholson proposed fluid mosaic model, where they proposed that the plasma membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer in which proteins are present in two fashion, either periphery, either integral protein. They are arranged in two manners, and the proteins of internal leaflet serve as anchor points for the cytoskeleton filaments such as microtubules, intermediate filaments, etc. And the external leaflet of the phospholipid bilayer contains carbohydrate attached to it, and this carbohydrate serves many functions in cell identification and recognition, and the proteins present on the external leaflet of phospholipid bilayer also serves as anchoring point for the extracellular material. And thus both leaflet of the phospholipid bilayer does not have symmetrical lipid structure. They are asymmetrical in nature, which means the two leaflets, inner and outer, are structurally and functionally different. These are two experiments which provides very important support to the fluid mosaic model, in which freeze fracture experiment showed that this is the structure of plasma membrane in which phospholipid bilayer is frozen and it is fractured. Then both phospholipid monolayers were separated, and there were bumps in the between the bumps were shown. These bumps are corresponding to the integral protein, membrane proteins. This and second experiment was cell fusion experiment. In that, human and mouse cells were fused, and they found that proteins were freely distributed into the cell after the fusion. After the fluid mosaic model, further studies came and model was further refined, such as microdomains are present in the plasma membrane and cytoskeleton proteins, and extracellular materials are also attached to the plasma membrane. So thank you so much.